Hello, I'm Marty Madrano.
And I'm Jason Whitlark. The Oakleaf Online starts now.
You're watching The Oakleaf Online, a production of the Film and Media Arts 19 studio production class. Today is Wednesday, November 5th, 2025.
Strong Democratic winds drove candidates around the country to victory. Voters flooded in to cast their ballots in what many see as an early referendum on Trump. Democrats scored big victories in the mayoral race in New York. Zorhan Mandami is a Muslim Democratic socialist who beat out former Democratic establishment candidate Andrew Cuomo. Democrats also saw victories in two major governors' races in New Jersey and Virginia. And in California, Prop 50 passed with a sweeping victory. Gavin Newsom's Prop 50 was written to help counterbalance the redistricting in Texas and other states. Some people speculate that Gavin Newsom's victory with Prop 50 in California will heighten his presidential prospects in 2028, setting the stage for a showdown with Trump and the Republicans in the 2026 midterm elections.
Yesterday's election saw voters in Sonoma County overwhelmingly support Proposition 50 by a margin of 3 out of 4. Now that it's passed, Proposition 50 will replace California's current citizen-drawn congressional maps with temporary maps drawn by the state legislature until the 2030 census.
There were several demonstrations across the Bay Area where thousands had gathered to protest the Trump administration's deployment of immigration and customs enforcement agents. The protesters filled San Francisco's Embarcadero Plaza as well as some parts of Alameda as protesters called for justice and reform. A crowd led by members of the labor councils of 3 different Bay Area cities had marched to the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Field Office, calling for justice for immigrants and chanting, "No ICE, no KKK, no fascist USA." These photos you're seeing were taken by SRJC's very own Oakleaf News team.
In Alameda, protesters have marched to the bridge of Coast Guard Island and were met by Coast Guard personnel who stopped the protesters from moving further up the bridge. By early evening, tensions arose as more officers arrived holding assault rifles. The situation de-escalated when the officers retreated and the crowd of protesters celebrated what they had called a victory. Protesters say their message is one of unity and continued action, and for many of it is a reminder of the importance of civic engagement. To read the Oakleaf's full article and view more photos on the protests, visit theoakleafnews.com. As yesterday's elections showed, it's more important than ever to spot disinformation online. Here we have Oakleaf News reporter and editor Lauren Kelleher to show you how to separate fact from fiction.
Thank you, Marty. It is extremely important to have strong media literacy, especially in a time where it is becoming increasingly difficult to identify disinformation. Misinformation is false or inaccurate information, often shared unintentionally. Disinformation is false information purposefully fabricated and shared with the sole purpose of misleading audiences. With AI becoming more prevalent, it can make spotting this false information even trickier. AI can generate articles with false information that is made to seem like real news, while bots also flood social media with the same false story over and over again. This leads others to believe it as real news and share it. To spot false information and stop it from spreading, get your news from multiple sources. If you're seeing the same news story across multiple outlets, there is a higher chance of it being factual. For quick fact-checking, websites like Snopes, PolitiFact, factcheck.org can help you verify claims and avoid spreading misinformation. Look for credible sources as well, like news outlets for a reputation for accuracy and publications that cite their sources clearly. Supporting local journalism is another way to stay informed. By following trusted local news, you're more likely to get accurate information and avoid being misled by false stories. Local reporters often have direct access to community sources, officials, and events, giving them insight that larger outlets or social media posts may miss. And as journalists, verifying facts and sharing stories responsibly is at the core of what we do. Here's more from our student journalists and faculty on the journalism program here at SRJC.
My motto of late is that journalism skills equal life skills. The skills they learn here are invaluable. My name is Ann Belden. I run the journalism program here at Santa Rosa Junior College.
I'm Brian Nathanson, and I teach in the Film and Media Arts program. It's a good thing to work in a job where you feel like you're doing something positive.
Okay.
Come on, I'll show you the equipment room.
My name is Emily Rashine. I'm the co-editor-in-chief along with Oliver Kint. Not a lot of colleges have a program that allows you to give real newsroom experience.
Whatever you're expecting it will be is not necessarily the only thing you're going to get out of it. Like, you're going to learn so much more than just journalism.
It's also one of the top-rated journalism programs in the nation.
It's working? Okay, sweet.
Yeah, my name is Lauren Kelleher. I am 21 years old and I am a journalism major. I took my first journalism class just last semester and found out that I really love it and I think it's what I want to do.
My name is Zoe Steiner. I've been a writer my entire life, but I've never done journalism writing. Fell in love with it. Getting nervous. I love that every day I go into work, I just learn something new. Hi, my name is Jennifer Stani. I'm a reporter with the Santa Rosa Press-Democrat, and I'm part of the community journalism team. I view journalism and the work that we do very much a barometer of what's going on in society. Obviously, reading things can help the community understand some of the bigger picture issues. There's something else, another thread that needs to get pulled, making sure that people are held accountable. That's a huge part of our work. And understanding how our society runs and functions. My first interaction with Anne, she was really encouraging, she was really helpful. She noticed my curiosity early on.
My name is Adair Alvarez Rodriguez, and this is my second year here at the JC and like my year and a half at the Oakleaf. I am a co-photo editor. I used to attend a lot of protests, and I realized when I started doing that after a while, I wanted to kind of capture those moments and realized I love storytelling, telling other people's stories, and kind of what I'm doing now.
Journalists are like daily historians, and especially when there's so much fake news out there and lies and mistruths and people just saying what they want to be true, it's incumbent upon journalists to discover what is true or what is likely true, and use the tools of journalism, of objective journalism, of interviewing lots of sources and come from an observation to arrive at the most objective truth possible.
With journalism, what I learned is being able to go out and get important information and get a whole bunch of it and be able to synthesize it in a way that's accessible.
Now is probably one of the most exciting times to be getting into journalism. My name is John Deanna. I am the managing editor at Cal Matters. We're a statewide news organization that focuses on government and politics and accountability reporting out of Sacramento. Now the opportunities are incredible. There's all kinds of different platforms you can get involved in. You can tell stories through social media. You can tell stories, with vertical video. You can tell stories in podcasts, and you can tell stories in some of the traditional narrative formats.
You can go with arts and entertainment. You can go with news, sports. You can really do anything you like to do. You have a lot of freedom over what you cover.
We have a magazine that we do every semester, and that allows for a lot of creativity and different types of stories, like personal experience features that can be told in a really fun way.
It's my goal is that students are making content that they are proud of and that their peers actually like. That's a very high bar.
This semester we are working on integrating the results of the productions from the Film and Media Arts 19 class into the Oakleaf and having them published online.
I think it's important for aspiring journalists to begin doing journalism, and whether it's doing it at the Oakleaf or volunteering to write something for your community newspaper or digital news outlet.
What's interesting is we've noticed an uptick in journalism students this year, a large uptick. So my name is Mark Fernquest, and I am a PALS for the campus newspaper. I think it's very important right now. I wouldn't have said that a couple years ago, but I think it is ever more important for people to enter journalism.
My advice is, if you have interest, if you are a curious person, if you ask questions, if you ask why is that and what is that, and you want to meet people from all walks of life, you should give it a try.
Yeah, I would absolutely recommend people join, any kind of journalism or media arts program, especially the Oakleaf. I found such a strong sense of community just amongst the other people in the newsroom. It's a really fun environment. I've made a lot of new friends, and just also feel like I've learned so much and been able to produce things that have my name on them that are out there and published. And it's something that will kind of go on like a resume.
I've met all of my friends here.
Yeah, no, me too. I don't have any other friends. So, yeah.
It's never boring. You're working on different stuff every day. You're not sitting at a desk doing the same thing day in and day out. You're using your brain. It's creative, it's dynamic, it's exciting, and you can marry journalism with whatever your interest.
We need people who can think critically, access information, and let people know what their government is up to and what's really happening in the world.
Journalists bear witness so that the world knows what's happening. And I think journalism is a very noble profession.
I kind of just want to help my community. If I can make an impact in even one person's life, I think I'll be happy.
Do it.
We've reached the start of November with only a few weeks left of the fall semester. The spring 2026 class schedule is now available as registration for Priority Group 1 begins on Monday, November 10th. The last Priority Group, Priority 6, registers on Tuesday, December 2nd, and open registration is on Thursday, December 4th. Make sure to look over the schedule of classes and plan accordingly for next semester. In other SRJC news, the JC's theater program is putting on their second and last production of the semester. SRJC's Theater's Arts program presents Ride the Cyclone, a comedy musical about 6 teens whose lives are cut short in a freak accident on a roller coaster. They each get a chance at a shot at life again after a fortune teller invites them to tell a story. If you're interested, the musical runs from November 14th to the 23rd in the Burbank Main Stage Theater at 7:30 p.m. every day, except for the 16th and the 23rd, which begins at 2 p.m. Buy your tickets online at srjc.universitytickets.com, or if you prefer to buy them in person, the Burbank box office will be open an hour before every performance for in-person sales.
Also in the month of November, there are a few fun local events you may want to check out. The Brickpalooza Lego Festival returns to Sonoma County on November 22nd from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Santa Rosa Veterans Building. The festival includes a large exhibition of Lego art with many hands-on Lego activity booths, as well as vendors who will be selling both new and used Lego sets. General admission tickets start at $12. For dinosaur fans, Jurassic Quest stomps into the Sonoma County Fairgrounds from November 7th to the 9th. Immerse yourself with life-size roaring dinosaurs and dig for fossils in North America's largest interactive dinosaur experience. Get your tickets now at JurassicQuest.com. And for those looking to get outdoors, join the Sonoma Land Trust on a few nature walks throughout the Sonoma Valley. You can register for a nature walk at sonomalandtrust.org. And if you're headed out for that nature hike, maybe keep an eye out for a few uninvited guests. Here are Martin and Ivan with more on ticks and the very unexpected side effects their bites can cause.
Do you have a couple of ticks to talk about alpha-gal syndrome? So I'm going to ask you, do you have a couple of ticks to talk about alpha-gal syndrome? How you doing, gents? You got a couple of ticks to talk about alpha-gal syndrome?
Alpha-gal syndrome, or AGS, is an allergy to red meat caused by tick bites. It is most commonly associated with the Lone Star tick, recently found as far from its usual range in America's southeast as Martha's Vineyard. Less widely reported is that California's own western black-legged tick can also trigger the potentially fatal condition. 2 years ago, Laura Heeb, a retired teacher from Jenner, California, learned about alpha-gal in the most dangerous way.
Did you know this about her? See her? She carries stuff around all the time. I went to a July 4th party, a barbecue. The host bought delicious steaks for everyone, and I came home around 10:30, and around 1:30 I became violently ill.
Alpha-gal is a sugar present in the meat of most mammals, though not in humans, and the saliva of certain ticks. When a tick bite elicits an immune response from its human victim, with alpha-gal present in the wound, because it is foreign to them, their body learns to treat it as a threat, regardless of the source. Their next exposure to alpha-gal, whether from a tick or a steak, can cause hives, dizziness, vomiting and diarrhea, and in the most severe cases, swelling of the tongue, throat, and airway.
I could not breathe. My throat was closing. And of course, I'm out here in Jenner and all alone. And so I decided to take Benadryl. I had had some allergic reactions before, and in the process of getting in touch with the doctor, that they had said Benadryl in the immediate. So I took the Benadryl, and I just took maybe 5 Benadryl, and just tried to focus on breathing, lying down, and I made it through. I came back to being able to breathe, and that was that.
Unlike most allergic reactions, which take effect almost immediately, AGS symptoms often occur several hours after exposure, complicating diagnosis and delaying or misdirecting treatment. This can also lead to repeated accidental exposures, which some evidence suggests results in increasingly severe reactions. Once AGS develops, lifestyle changes are the only preventative option to date.
So let's say one day you just woke up and you're just allergic to me. How would you feel about this?
I mean, as a Hispanic person, I would be really upset. Yeah, because I'm really, like, in my culture, we're really surrounded with gatherings with involves a lot of meat.
I'm very much meat eater in a sense, so I feel like that would turn my world completely upside down, because that's a good half of my diet, if I'm being honest. Yeah.
According to the Center for Disease Control, more than 110,000 AGS diagnoses have been made in the United States since 2010. But its research suggests that including undiagnosed cases would increase that number to as high as 450,000. If the Lone Star tick keeps expanding its range, a phenomenon attributed by many to climate change, they expect it to keep climbing. Though the western black-legged tick is found in 56 out of 58 counties, confirmed AGS diagnoses in California are still relatively rare. So meaningful data on the risk per bite of developing AGS doesn't yet exist. Cases as severe as Laura Heeb's are rarer still, but for those unfortunate few, it is life-changing.
So they did then test all the mammal meats, and I was not over 90% allergic to all of them. Lamb, pork, beef. I do carry an EpiPen. Yeah, And even still in California, I haven't found anybody that has it. And when I go in for something to Kaiser, which isn't often, but if I mention it, nobody seems to know anything about it.
In fact, 42% of 1,500 medical practitioners surveyed by the CDC had never heard of AGS, and another 35% were not confident in their ability to diagnose or manage AGS patients. According to California state park officials, the best way to prevent AGS, Lyme disease, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, or any other tick-borne illness is to prevent tick bites from happening. Wear long pants and socks while hiking. Avoid areas ticks enjoy, such as long grass or shady, moist underbrush. If you know you might be around ticks, consider sealing your pants at the ankles with duct tape and apply a layer sticky side out. That way, if you do stumble across some of the little bloodsuckers, you will see them on the tape and know to check your body extra carefully. Should one slip through and manage to attach to you, a loved one, or a pet, proper and prompt removal can go some way to reducing the likelihood of an illness.
Silver linings.
Yeah.
Are there any unexpected positives that have come out of this for you?
I would say no, I don't think so.
Thank you, Martin and Ivan.
That concludes this episode of the Oak Leaf Online.
We'll see you next time.
This has been a production of the Fall 2025 Film and Media Arts 19 Studio Production class.